Hey, somebody's got to find my bowling shoes. You did? Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You're listening to The Professional Noticer.
You talking to me?
Here, you and I will use common sense and all the wisdom we can muster to move beyond what is true and go all the way to the truth, with listeners now in 87 countries around the world. Woo-hoo! Today we welcome Malaysia. Hey, Malaysia! I am the Professional Noticer.
Now see that? That's the kind of winning attitude that's going to take this enterprise straight to the top.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, thank you for making me a part of your week. As the Professional Noticer, it's my job to professionally notice something for you. And nothing's off limits. So what is your question? Business, spiritual issues, popular culture. We even tackled the odd conundrum like, think about the person who made the first clock. 12 hours? How did he decide that? Why not 10 or 14? And how did that person decide which way was clockwise and why that direction was counterclockwise? And where did the term clockwise come from? If clocks had not been invented, if this was the first one, who decided one way is right but the other way was wrong or counter to what is right? Anyway, my purpose here today and with every show we do is to play the part of a best friend or a coach. I want to help you live the life you would live if all your toughest questions were answered. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Hey, the Professional Noticer is sponsored by Kamado Joe Premium Ceramic Grills. You ever been in the middle of something you just love doing, but what you're using is just it's not working like you know it should, and you don't know what else to do? Perhaps you already have a ceramic grill. I did, a big one, and it was green. But I was the only person who could lift the lid to check on dinner. Certainly my 10-year-old skinny-armed boys could not lift that big green monster, and my wife couldn't lift it, and she would not lift it. And, the hinge looked like something a kid made in a high school shop class, but some years ago, some other guys had the same realization over, hundreds of miles away from me, but they're two buddies and they loved it. They grilled all the time, weekend after weekend, though they would be disappointed by the grills. And as it turned out, these guys had the ability that allowed them to design and develop a better grill. Here, all I could do was write a book, but they designed a better grill, the Kamado Joe, in all its sizes, with all its specialized tools, and its counterbalanced stainless steel hinge. I'm telling you, even on the Big Joe, it weighs 365 pounds. A 10-year-old can lift the lid to fully open, or halfway open, or just a little open, or down and up with one finger. Kamado Joe is the world's best ceramic cooker. Check out KamadoJoe.com or anywhere fine grills are sold. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, the Professional Noticer, harnessing common sense and wisdom to plow through challenges all the way to an answer for you. Observations and answers, that's what we do here. I deliver the observations as your Professional Noticer, but you have to provide the questions. And the quality of your answers, the quality of my answers, the quality of our answers can only be determined by the quality of the questions. So let's have some good questions. Listen, we're doing this in a little bit different way. I would like you to only email your questions. Email your questions to theprofessionalnoticer@andyandrews.com. And then we'll be able to read them, and our staff, our many staff, our hundreds of staff members, and Matt and SB and me, we will all our staff members will peruse the questions and decide, and we'll get in touch with you so that you can make that call and we'll have your voice on there. And if you're chosen, we would love to use your question. If we choose your question, you'll have your choice of the Guided Traveler Experience, which is over 8 hours of live video seminar, or you could choose 100-Year Parenting, a collection of 53 videos between 10 and 20 minutes each. Okay, so email those questions. Come on, lean in, think hard. This week, our first question is from Salem. Hey, Salem.
Hey, Andy. My name is Salem, and I appreciate you and what you do. I kept fighting with my own self about how I'm not progressing in the work I'm doing. I feel as if I'm stuck, and I started to read the Traveler's Gift. I just started it, and I've only read till the 3rd chapter, the first decision. It actually gave me that new perspective. I don't know if it's right or if I should, but I decided to pause there and try to the first decision practically before I read the second. What tips can you give me on how to proceed from here? Because I must say, I have a feeling this book is a way to my success. Thank you.
Salem, hey man, I hear you, and right there with you, fighting with your own self, and you are stuck. Do I ever know how that feels? So anyway, hey, I appreciate you reaching out, because I do, and this is something that I have been through frequently, fighting with my own self, and here I am stuck again. And it's funny to me, and I appreciate so much you reading The Traveler's Gift. People come up to me sometimes in airports and they say, "Oh, I read The Traveler's Gift, and thank you so much." And I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate," and I always say I appreciate the opportunity to have that for you, because I somehow don't feel responsible for all the content or something. I feel like I'm not that smart. And if anybody really knew, I told you, Salem, I feel like you feel. I know what it feels to fight with yourself and get stuck. So knowing that, I will tell you privately, all these people who come up to me and talk to me about The Traveler's Gift, if anybody had any idea how many times I've gone into my office and locked myself in my closet and read my own stuff, you're just like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? Because I feel like that the book is wisdom. I don't feel totally responsible for that. I am honored to be a part of that book and honored that my name's on it. But I got to tell you, buddy, you are, man, seeking is the right thing. So many people, when they feel stuck, they just stay where they are. And have you ever had somebody say, "Hey, do you know what to do? Do you know what to do?" "No, we don't know what to do." I mean, obviously, you guys, what are you doing? "Well, we're not doing anything." "Well, why are you not doing anything?" "I mean, you're just sitting there." "Well, we don't know what to do." And it's a weird place to be, because you're stuck. And so people who don't know what to do nothing, which is never the answer. I think it was Will Rogers who said, "You can be on the right track, but if you just sit there, the train's going to run over you anyway." And so the answer is something. Do something. You got to do something. Okay, well, what is that? I don't know. But man, grabbing hold of the first decision and knowing that responsibility is there. Salem, I'm telling you, when you understand that it's you, that the answer is you, it is such a freeing concept. I am excited for you, because you say, "Hey, I stopped right here. And I'm kind of grabbing hold of this, and I'm trying to figure out what this is and learning about this one." Hey, good for you, man, because privately, I've told some of my friends, people talk to me about this book all the time, and if you don't get the first decision, if you don't understand the first decision, if you don't wrap the first decision up in your life, the other 6, they're not going to matter. They're not going to make any difference at all if you don't understand the first one. Because if you don't have a platform, if you don't have a basis, if you don't have a foundation, if you don't have your feet on the bottom of the pool, that this is me. This is my life. I did this, and only I can get out of this. See, here's the thing. The deal, Salem, is the buck stops here. And in the book, David Ponder is traveling in time, and he doesn't understand why he's, because the big question he's asked right before he traveled in time and right before he had this car accident, it was, why me? Why me? All this stuff is happening. It's coming down on him. His life is coming to just it's a car crash of a life, and it ends in a car crash. And the last thing he says when he hands fly off the wheel is he screams, why me? And the next thing he does when he wakes up, he wakes up and there's this guy, as you know, well, he's in Harry Truman's office. He don't even recognize the guy. He just knows it's an old guy and there's no air conditioning. And he's in Potsdam, Germany. And he gets a chance to talk with Harry Truman when Harry Truman is in the worst time of his life. And Truman's trying to figure out, nobody even knows that I have this weapon. And do I use this weapon? Do I not use this weapon? I mean, it's the worst time in his life, and he's trying to figure out. And, all of a sudden, here's this guy from, modern times that pops in. But Truman's not surprised. He is ready for him, and he gives him that decision, and that decision is what you've read. And they talk about what Truman's going through, and they talk about some of what Ponder's going through, but that decision is about responsibility, Salem. And what I want you to understand, that I know you already do, I'm just kind of giving you, I'm just kind of fist bumping you on the shoulder and patting you on the back and saying, hey, dude, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. You're doing good. And you are on track. And you're doing what you should do. Because getting a hold of this one, getting a hold of responsibility, it allows the platform for you to do everything else you're going to do in your life. Because I'm promising you, you said you're not progressing in the work you're doing. You feel like you're stuck. If you're not progressing in the work you're doing, there's probably other areas of your life that you're not progressing that aren't satisfactory to you. Well, I want to tell you something, and we're getting to the bottom of the pool here thinking about this. If you're not progressing in the work you're doing, and it is your coworker's fault, or if it is your wife's fault, or if the fault is the environment, or if it is because of the weather or because of your neighbors, and that's why you're not progressing in your work, dude, good luck. You might as well flip a coin, go jump off a cliff, do whatever you want to do. Because if the reason you're not progressing in your work is them, there ain't nothing you can do about them. You can't do anything. Matt, my wife, Polly came down here a few minutes ago, and, you've known Polly for a long time. Salem, Matt and I are here, and Polly came down a few minutes ago, and Polly and I were laughing about something, but I also am very aware that if Polly really does something, if I get to a place in my life and it really is Polly's fault, what am I going to do about her? I don't know about you, dude, but I can't change my wife. I cannot change my wife. My wife is who she is. She's wonderful. She's awesome. There's some things she aggravates me with, there's just some things. Okay. I don't like red beans and rice. She does. Okay. So she knows I don't like, it's just, but that's okay. But I'm talking about if I get into a place and it's a place financially or with my business or with a relationship, and it really is Polly's fault, I'm out of luck. Because what am I going to do about her? Okay, but Salem, when you and I get down to it, and if we can say, you know what, I've had a lot of crazy things happen in my life. I've had tragedies happen, and I could not change anything. But I have made choices. My thinking at the time, the way I was thinking allowed me to make choices. And I made choices that created results that have put me in a place that I do not like. Salem, if you and I can understand that we can make choices that will lead us down a pathway to a place we do not like, that, my friend, is great news. Ha ha ha! What great news. Because if you can understand and believe you can make choices that will take you to a place you don't like, doesn't it just make logical sense that you can also make choices that will take you to a place you do like? So the answer becomes, make better choices. And that's what the other 6 decisions in the Traveler's Gift are about. Make better choices. Well, how do you make better choices? Well, that's what the other 6 decisions are about. But at the ground level, at the bottom of the pool, at the foundation of it all, you can only move if it is you. I'm having I'm having an argument with my wife. God, please let this be me. Please let me figure out, God, please point out to me what it is that I am doing. Please let this be me, because if it's me, I can do something about it. Man, look at my finances. Woo! Okay. I listened to Dave Ramsey today. I can track what I did. Yeah. I've been blaming my kids, and kids want something. Blame my kids for doing that, and blame my wife for spending money. But the bottom line is, I made all the choices. I put all the places, in play. I put all the pieces on the board, and I am the one who have made the choices to get to this place in my financial life that I'm terrified. I'm scared. I'm devastated. But I'll tell you what, man, it's a good thing it's me. Because if somebody else was responsible for all my money, if somebody else was responsible for what I could produce, if somebody else was responsible for who I was, I would be in deep trouble. But the buck stops here. It's me. I am the one. I am responsible. I can decide what I do. I can change my thinking. I can change my thinking so that my choices will change, so that I will get on the path to going into a better place. And if I can believe I can get to a place I don't like because the choice is made, surely I can make good choices to get to a place I do like. Salem, thank you very much, buddy. Hey, you are on the right path. Go for it, all right? I appreciate you. I'm Andy Andrews, the professional noticer, harnessing common sense and wisdom to plow through challenges all the way to an answer for you. Hey, here's the thought. I know you can Google to find out what in the heck Wagyu beef is. Matt, have you ever seen Wagyu?
Just recently, I've been seeing it a bunch.
Yeah, it's on menus everywhere. I don't know what Wagyu beef is, but it's more expensive than regular beef. I know that you can get Wagyu beef, and it's much more expensive, and I don't even, but you can Google the answer to that. You can Google the answer to how many yen is in a US dollar. Or I don't know. Should you Google how many dollars are in a yen? I don't even know how that works. But where do you seek wisdom? One is knowledge, one is wisdom. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge will help you plan a boat trip down the Nile River with your family, and guides and cameras. I mean, you can see different countries on a float trip down the Nile River. You can see animals. You can float through Kenya and Rwanda and the Sudan. The Nile flows through 8 countries, and knowledge can provide money for the trip. But I got to tell you this, wisdom will help you decide what part of the Nile you really want to float, or whether or not you really want to do this at all. Say you memorized the World Book Encyclopedia Volume P. Does that help you as a P parent? Does it help you create peace in your family? Knowledge, without the wisdom to apply that knowledge in the proper way, is way more than useless. Sometimes it's flat out harmful. Allow me to suggest wisdomharbor.com. That's wisdom, H-A-R-B-O-U-R, harbor with an O-U-R. Go there now to be welcomed by a friend of yours. I think you'll recognize this guy. And to get a free 5-minute guided tour, wisdomharbor.com. Our next question is from Julie. Hey, Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie in Neosho. For years, there's been a big trend for businesses to give back and support various charities. I've always thought it was just marketing, and privately thought, if you love those charities so much, why don't you just give them some of your profits? Then you can stop making a big deal about how charitable you are. After all, the good book says when you give to someone in need, you don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, right? Anyway, now it's my business that could use some positive marketing, specifically during the first week of December when funds begin to dwindle. I'm a portrait photographer, that's my business, and I'm contemplating the possibility of giving a photo session to anyone who brings in toys for underprivileged children. I think it's a win-win in lieu of a session fee, and hopefully it will be a win-win. Poor children get toys and my business gets noticed. But I have a lot of uncertainty. Am I only doing this for self-promotion? Am I being selfish? Is it even effective for a business to help a charity in this way? I need a new perspective about this, and you are the one to ask. Do you mind? Please offer your insight. I believe other small business owners may have these thoughts too.
Julie, hey, that is a great question. What a great question. That has so much bearing on so many businesses, large and small, the way you are thinking. And I understand your confusion. And I think I can clear some of this up for you. I totally get what you're saying when you say, why don't you just give them some of your profits? You just like kind of marketing. But I also understand what you're saying. Well, now it's my business. Always cuts close to the bone when it's us. It's amazing. I was listening to the audiobook James Herriot, The All Creatures Great and Small, and I just love that book. I read it when I was a teenager. I've read it a couple of times as an adult, and I love that book. He says it was amazing to him how farmers seem to have different opinions about what to do with animals when it wasn't their animal. And it was an amazing observation for a veterinarian to make. And it's an observation you have made here. It is amazing. We have different opinions about what we should do when it's our business. So you're a portrait photographer. It's your business. Good for you. Man, you can find so many different ways to provide value for those people. And let me just tell you something, Julie. I think that what you're doing, your idea about giving a photo session to anyone who brings in toys for underprivileged children, I think that is awesome. And I definitely think you should do it. Okay? And don't put big signs out and say, Julie is doing this. Don't pass out flyers saying, hey, did you know that Julie? Now you can put out, you can market that, Julie is excited to offer the free photo session to anyone who brings in, certain toys or whatever. But what I'm saying is just don't go brag about it. Just do it. Just do it, because it is a win-win. I mean, these people they are going to pay money. They are going to get pictures. But let me tell you what you're going to get. You're going to get clients for life. Okay? And let me tell you something else, Julie. When you're doing this, I'm going to give you advice that other marketing people would never give you. Other marketing people, other PR people will say, Julie, you need to be ready with business cards. You need to be ready with all their email addresses. You need to be able to bombard them. You need to be, Julie, you're giving them something for free. You need to be able to go back to them and say, now you need pictures of your dog. Now you need pictures of your house. Now can I do pictures of your, come on, I gave something to you for free. Surely you could, Julie, that's what everybody would do. That's what PR firms tell people to do. That's what companies do. But I want to suggest something different, Julie. Let's go to the bottom of the pool on this. Let's think about this. Julie, you're in a place where you are a portrait photographer. It's your business. And I will bet you anything that anybody in that area who knows or you're contemplating giving a photo session to someone who brings toys. Okay, well, they will be contemplating bringing toys to someone that they don't know, but they know they'll get a free photo session, and this is a professional photographer. They're contemplating that. But the point is, they know you're a photographer. They know who you are. They live in your town. They live in your area. You ain't got to tell them who you are. You ain't got to put your face on billboards. All you have to do is become incredibly valuable to your community. You just become valuable. You just help them, give to them. They will understand this is your business, and you will have the opportunity afterwards when they come in and say, hey, how much if we do this? Okay, this is what I do. Because, the toy thing is over now, and this is your business. And so, but I want to tell you something. When you see them, and you see when these people bring in the toys, find out about them, meet them, know who they are, talk to their children. Talk to their children about the children that are going to get these toys. And then when you see them in the grocery store, when you see them at the ballpark, when you see these people at church, you say, hey, are your pictures good? Listen, those children were so happy. You have done such a wonderful thing. And your mom and daddy are so great. You have a great mom and dad to think about other children and to help you see. Just heap praise on people. Now, do you really think that they are great for doing that? Well, I do. Would you normally say something nice to people? Well, for some reason, most of us wouldn't go out of our way to say something nice to other people because we think it's kind of weird or it's different or whatever. But why wouldn't you say something nice to somebody? Why wouldn't you point out something that they have done that is great, that you admire, that you appreciate, that you respect? Why wouldn't you? And so all you have to do, Julie, is to put yourself out there and trust me, Julie, there are photographers in your town who will have billboards, and they will have television commercials, and they will spend money on marketing, and they will do social media. But Julie, when a family says, you know what? Timmy has his 2 front teeth out right now. He's in the 5th grade. Good grief, we love this smile. Right now is the time. We need to get a family portrait right now. We'll do one again, when about the time that, about the time that Darla goes to the Valentine banquet on her first date. We maybe get another family portrait. But right now, while Timmy has his 2 front teeth out, let's get a family portrait. Well, who are we going to go? Well, there's people that have their photography businesses on billboards. Well, there's people that we see on television every night. We're trying to watch television and they're saying, "Do you want to have family memories? Come to us and let us professionally do your..." Yeah, I mean, who are you going to go to? I think they want to go to the lady that they see around town. I think they want to go to the lady that they see at the ballpark. The lady that already did pictures of them and the pictures are unbelievable. The lady that already took toys for kids, and the lady that already likes them and they know her and they know she does a good job. I think they're going to choose her, Julie. Because it's just like what you do, Julie, is just like cars. Sometimes in people's life, people aren't buying cars every day. People aren't buying houses every day. People aren't getting portraits made of their children every day. But at some point in their lifetime, every family wants a professional to do a portrait of their child. And when they step out and choose, you will have already competed at a level that your competition, they didn't even know a game was going on. They're competing with their price and their products and their merchandise, and they're pouring money into this. Julie, what you were doing was being valuable to the community. So when you say, "I have a lot of uncertainty, am I only doing this for self-promotion?" No, you're not. Do you have some tug at your heart for underprivileged children? Sure you do. Do you think that you can take portraits that a family can have and the portraits will create memories forever? Sure you do. Do you think you're good at that? Do you think you're great at that? Do you think you're the one that can capture that moment that years later they can look back and be so grateful that they did that? Yes, you think you are. Okay, well, let me tell you something, Julie. You just do what you're good at. You just do what you're passionate about. You just create value. You ask me, are you being selfish? No, I'm telling you, you just do the right thing. You just do what you know you should do. You love on the people you should love on. You help the people you should help. And Julie, I am so sorry that doing the right thing has incredible benefits. I'm so sorry that when you help people, they will remember you. I'm so sorry that when all you were doing is helping underprivileged kids, and all you were doing is make sure a family looks good, and all you were doing is make sure the dad didn't have the collar weird so that his kids would make fun of the picture for years. All you were doing is making the dad look handsome and the mom look beautiful and the little boy, not have the booger on his nose or whatever it was. And all you were doing is helping them, Julie. But I'm going to tell you something. They will remember you forever. You will have created advertising by doing the right thing. See, traditional advertising is just a tax people pay for not being remarkable. You are remarkable. That's enough. Go for it. All right, everyone. That just about does it for this week's episode. If you appreciate this podcast, I would appreciate you going to iTunes and giving us a nice review. Matt, what is a nice review? 5 stars? 5 stars. Matt says 5 stars is a nice review. Hey, you guys, your reviews on iTunes determine prominent placement for a podcast. And without your reviews, the professional noticer is down in the pack, hidden from being easily found by someone who might need to hear what you and I are talking about. So please head on over to iTunes and do your best. Okay? Go team, go. And I think that'll do it for this week. Get us out of here, Matthew. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to the boys and girls who aspire to become ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of another episode of The Professional Noticer. In a world where common sense has become a superpower, I'm harnessing the tiny bit of mental energy I have for you, seeking wisdom, making observations, and endeavoring to answer tough questions in a way that will empower your family and your business. I'm Andy Andrews. Until next week, smile while you talk, shake hands with the people you meet, and make sure you have an answer to the question, could linguists have picked an easier word than impediment to describe that condition? I mean, it's like they'd rather those people with a speech impediment not be able to actually say the word. And so, until next week, goodbye. This episode of The Professional Noticer was produced by Matt Limpert. The Noticer theme written and performed by Sugar Cane Jane. Angus beef provided by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Additional financial consideration provided by DonutHoleLandfills.com. Donut Hole Landfills is dedicated to the proper disposal of all the stale stuff you bought last week and no one is now willing to consume. Donut Hole Landfills will get rid of all your half-eaten bear claws, jelly rolls, and custard-filled phyllo. We've all seen it. Streets littered with pieces of pastry, the smell, the stickiness, the remnants of a dieter's regret. Where is it all to go? The incinerator? Certainly not. Unknown to most. Studies show that the reheating process can actually trigger greater moments of temptation for a person to inhale these morsels of delight. These delicacies are nothing but sirens stranded on the shipwreck of obesity, and they will cry out to you, leave the safety of your dieting program. Life will be greater if you will only partake of our offerings. And then, of course, the vicious cycle begins again. But wait, friends, there is hope, for DonutHoleLandfill.com is coming to your rescue. With their state-of-the-art robotics, Donut Hole Landfills uses tiny motor bots with pincers to sweep, gather, and remove any muffin stuck in a drawer for later. That apple tart you forgot, yes, the one hidden in your closet you meant to eat last night when you were at last alone by yourself. No crumb will be left behind. Donut Hole Landfills will make certain that your home and property are clean and glaze-free. All donuts are carefully carted to our professionally staffed landfill, dumped and covered to reduce the levels of pastry perfume that might otherwise send tempting messages into the wind. That's Donut Hole Landfill. We are DonutHoleLandfill.com.